What's up, guys? Welcome back. Welcome back to the channel for a daily extra. Because I messed up yesterday with my daily. I finished recording my daily and I hit publish, and then Di Marzio and Romeo speak, and I might have contradicted what I talked about in the daily. Not to a full extent, but maybe here and there. So I'm gonna discuss everything that happened during the meeting and what came out of that meeting between Allegri and Manna, because I was questioning what did came out. Maybe nothing spectacular, but some confirmations on certain things, and maybe a shocker for Manu on one topic at least. But before I get into it, I will say it always. Please like the video. Do it now, because again, 700 people watch every video, and we don't ever hit 70 which is strange. So do like it now. Subscribe to the channel, hit that bell notification, because I will be live today and tomorrow on Thursday. There will be a podcast with me and Julian, so stay tuned for that. And let's get straight into the new updates. So as I said, I made the daily, and I discussed, the meeting that took place, and the Cuadrado situation, and maybe Firmino had nothing to do with it. The moment I hit publish, Romeo and Di Marzio come out with the same news. So I'll go over that. I will start off with the meeting, and that's maybe the biggest story, is that it seems that the Saudi thing is just off the table completely, according to Di Marzio. Because it said, in today's meeting that took place with great unity, Allegri looked charged up and determined to continue. The relationship between Juve and Allegri continues positively. So I'm gonna do my shows with the idea of he's gonna be here. I still have my doubts, but I'm gonna do it. Otherwise, the shows or everything I record makes absolutely no sense for people watching it. So I'm gonna go off he's staying, which I'm not personally 100% sure of, but that's how I'm gonna conduct myself during the dailies. So he's saying what I'm gonna talk about makes then a lot of sense, or maybe just not, a few things not. The biggest news is, and the weirdest news is as well, and maybe not so weird, is the Cuadrado news, because Cuadrado spoke, and I did that in my daily, and he said, yeah, there has been an offer, but I'm not thinking about it. Hopefully we can continue together. And I found that very strange that he was very open about that, maybe, because why say yes and then we didn't talk about it, or so still nothing has been agreed, because it's weird to say. Usually you don't say that in that context. But according to Romeo, it's a cold track. It's not really happening. Giovanni Albanese said it's done, and Di Marzio said it's done. He said, sorry, Julian texted me, and he was talking about, Julian texted me, said the Cuadrado news might be the best transfer news this summer, but Di Marzio said, despite admitting that he received a renewal offer from the club, Juve never made one, and in the meeting they agreed not to move forward with Cuadrado. So I don't know what Cuadrado really was saying. Very strange to say that there is an offer when there's basically no offer, apparently. But the big news is the club and Allegri decided it's done for Cuadrado. He's not part of the squad anymore. We need to move on, which I agree 100% with. Again, I've said it many times, I don't hate players. I don't hate Cuadrado. I liked Cuadrado a lot, and he gave a lot to the club. Good moments. But when it's done, it's done. And that goes for a lot of players. I said it last season with Chiellini. Not that I thought Chiellini wasn't good enough, but there's a point where you need to move on. You need to get the new guys in, like Real Madrid are doing, and we love to hold on way too long to players. Chiellini, I thought it was better than Cuadrado still, but it's time to go. And this is good news. This is very good news, because again, it's not set in stone. I can jinx it, but we needed to move on. From this, because I was reading Padula news, kind of confirming that Cuadrado is on the move. Fenerbahce like him. So do Roma. He likes also a move to Spain. So it's moving into the direction that he's completely gone. He's not going to be here, and that's good news. That's very good news in my opinion. And you think then, okay, who's coming in? And I'm going to bring that news up immediately because it makes sense to connect it with that. This is news that also from Di Marzio is linked to Cuadrado. So we need to rotate, or like we need to move pieces basically. We have Cambiasso, but he needs to be played on the left. Di Marzio saying Cambiasso will return to the club in preseason. He will play with preseason. He will be tested out on the right, but the club already know that he actually has no future on the right. So that means he needs to move to the left. But then there will be a problem because you have him, Kostic, and Junior, which I still think makes absolutely no sense unless you play 3-5-2, and that's a worry part. One of the two between Cambiasso and Junior offers, even loan offers, will be evaluated. Now, it makes no sense if you play in a back three because Junior and Kostic are not left backs. But this news kind of suggests it's going to be the 3-5-2, which confirms my fear, which I discussed with Julian during the live, that we are going to play the most horrendous 3-5-2 with no technical ability in there. And it's going to look goddamn awful, really bad. And that's my biggest fear now. Because when I read that news, it's going to be a 3-5-2. They're pushing for that. I don't want to lose Junior. Do I want to lose Cambiasso? No. But not as much as I don't want to lose. Not as much as I do not want to lose Ealing Jr. Because I believe, personally, Junior has more upset than Cambiasso. I think he has more of that X factor compared to Cambiasso, the player I prefer to watch, if you know what I mean. And again, not both left backs, I agree. But if you're going to play in a 3-5-2, I'd rather keep Junior in the team than Cambiasso. Will you get more money for Junior? 100% sure. And that's why the club will probably go with that move. Also because he only has a deal until 25, I think, which was a weird one to start with that agreement of the new deal. But I'd rather keep Julian. Keep Julian. I'd rather keep Junior over Cambiasso. That's my personal opinion. You can all say no, which is fine. It's preference. But I think his upset, his X factor is more of word of a quote-unquote risk than bringing in Cambiasso. But you might suggest we need to keep all of them. And I would say yes. I also agree. If you have the money, if you have the squad depth, if you need that squad depth, all of that. Because if an offer comes in from 20 mil, around 20 mil for Junior, the club is going to take it. Because they are going to think, lower the cost, trim the squad. You have Kostic, you have Cambiasso. We already paid Cambiasso. You're getting money for Junior. We paid him like 1 mil when we signed him. You're going to get 20, whatever. That's a big win for us as a club financially to get back up there. The flip side is you have Kostic and you keep Cambiasso. And there's no X factor. There isn't. Technical ability, very, very low. Very low and very worrying. Hence, me saying that's going to be one of the worst 3-5-2s you will ever see probably. But that's all linked. Cuadrado gone. Now, I don't want to see Cambiasso on the right because I don't think he was good I don't think he will be good on the right. So, if you keep him, as I always say, play him in their positions. But losing Junior is a big, big problem for me because I don't think anyone is going to offer what we pay for Cambiasso back. Like no team is going to do that. They're going to be. Is that right? That's right. They're going to be offers for Junior. That's the difference, and that's my biggest fear because I believe, or I'm having a feeling now that Junior will not be with the squad anymore the next season, and I will think that will be a goddamn shame. I will, but that's a big news. That's very big news because that means, as I said in my daily, that I dropped a minute too early. Now you can see things moving and pieces moving, and now you can see things kind of getting into an acceleration with, maybe we will listen to offers for Junior now, or maybe, there will be an offer for Cambiasso, but the fact that they want to bring Cambiasso into training camp suggests me even more that, if a good offer for Junior comes in, it will be accepted because they saw Junior play already. They haven't really seen Cambiasso play with the team. That's the first part of the news. The second part is the Milik one, because during that meeting, Allegri told the club, get back to Marseille and tell him we want Milik. which sound maybe weird because you could have got him for 7, and now we're trying to fleece Marseille for even less, which you might say is good, but on the flip side, we are getting mad because Tottenham are doing that with Kulusevski for us. So we're going back because Allegri asked for Milik. That's why in the coming hours, talks with Marseille will be picked up again. I don't know. Do I have an issue with Milik? Not really. I don't think. I know what Milik is. I know what he is. I know what he can offer. Excuse me. But if I need to go into a season with Milik and Keane, it's a bit worrying. I don't see a lot of goals. I don't see a real threat. I don't see us putting fear in opponents. That's just my personal opinion. Also that second part from Milik is very worrying. Part of the season, very, very worrying. But again, I'm gonna do these videos with the thought process that Allegri's gonna say, and then yes, it makes sense that he wants to keep Milik. But I don't know. I'm not sure about it anymore. I'm not sure about it. Also because I have no idea how our attack is gonna look, how it's gonna shape up basically. Because it's gonna be a 3-5-2, and then I'm thinking, what's gonna happen with Chiesa? What is gonna happen with Chiesa? Like it's shaping up to be a very weird and sticky situation. As I said, like a very low quality in terms of technical ability lineup, and that's my biggest fear. But that's the news. We'll go back sitting at the table with Marseille, trying to get Milik, who you could have got for 7 million. So let's see how that will go. But that's actually big news because it felt like it was dead in the water, but it's not. It's alive and kicking. The other news coming out of that meeting is obviously Rabiot. Saying that Juve are waiting to hear Rabiot's response to the 1-year contract renewal proposal presented in recent hours by the club. Now, there's also reports out there that Rabiot wants to be coached by Allegri because it's getting the best out of him. But if you're offering a 1-year deal and he gets an offer from the Premier League for 3 years on the same money, like if I'm Rabiot, I'm gone. Like that's security compared to 1 year. I know what the club is trying to do. 1 year, get the books in shape, and then next season sit back on the table and do it again. The issue is he's a free agent now, signing bonus now, free agent end of the season, signing bonus again. That's my biggest issue, and his mom. Like, would I advise my own son to sign a 1-year deal? Not really. You can never know what happened in your career. Injuries, big time injury, it makes no sense. If you want security, a 1-year deal just doesn't really make sense. Because you also need to think about the personal level. And yes, you need to think about money because we would all think about that type of money. If you pick up an injury, who's going to sign you next season on a free agent? Yes, teams will do it maybe, but not on the money you could demand. Now, if you have a 2 to 3 year deal and you pick up that injury, it's different. You're injured, but you're getting paid. Bad for the club, but good for you. And that's how players think. That's how we all would think in that situation. So I will be absolutely stunned if he signs a 1-year extension. I will be shocked. I have no idea how to react to that because I cannot explain what just happened then. The only explanation is he really loves Allegri. That's the only explanation I would have. Otherwise, it doesn't really make sense for him. For us, maybe it does. It does make a lot of sense, It does. Paredes gone. Pogba struggling to be fit. You bring back Rovella, who's still young, needs to adapt to the team, and Allegri wants to keep players in and around who know the squad, basically. From that perspective, it makes sense. Also for the club, 1-year deal. Let's see what we can do next summer, Let's fix up, left back, right back, and that attack. But again, let's see. I think that answer will come relatively quickly. Then let's end with Romeo Gressi's news saying Allegri asked for Milik. That's wrong. I messed up the graphic. The news shouldn't be say the Milik. The news is that the manager is staying in the Milano headquarters to discuss the outgoing transfers about Kulusevski, Zakaria, and McKennie. Because those are all issues, especially the Kulusevski one, because he has 1 year left on his deal apparently. I forgot about that. I thought it was 25, to be honest. So maybe it's an option. I don't know. But Tottenham don't want to pay the 35 million agreed money. Like we're not willing to do that for Milik. According to Gazzetta dello Sport, they're willing to pay 25, which is ridiculous. That's 10 million too low. I tweeted it out. If you're a serious club, you tell Tottenham you pay the 35, maybe 33. If not, goodbye. Offers will come in from him. We have Premier League teams paying 30 million for players who scored 0 goals in the Premier League. You know, that's happening. There will teams will come in and pay that money in one way or another. Tottenham need him. We don't need him. And he needs Tottenham. Stand still, hold your foot down, and say you need that money, because we need that money. We need that money. This is not asking for a 2 million discount. This is asking for 1/3 of the price discount. It's ridiculous, because even if that story about his contract runs out in a year, so they need to redo his contract, blah blah blah. Even if that's a thing, they knew that when they put that clause into the deal. So that's a bullshit statement. That's a bullshit story to make it sound quote unquote good for the Tottenham fans and make Tottenham fans think about, maybe 1-year deal, I don't know. But the club should say, no, you agreed on, pay up or get lost, because we need that money. But yeah, that's a daily extra, which I does my initial daily video. Go watch that still. Smash the like on that video. Do that on this video, please. We're trying to get the likes up, because it would help us a lot. Subscribe, hit that bell notification. I will be live today earlier, because after that I will record a podcast with Julian that will drop on Thursday. So stay tuned for that as well, because me and Julian have a lot to discuss or to unpack in that podcast. And yeah, thanks for watching, and I will see you people later tonight. Ciao.